Hello everyone, welcome back again to our channel Coders Arcade. In today's video, I'll be talking about one very important concept which is common to every programming language, no matter which programming language you are learning, but our focus will be learning that concept in Python, okay? So today's topic is JSON, okay? So JSON means JavaScript Object Notation. This will be our topic today. Before starting this, I like to request all of you to please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button, and also don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you receive notifications about the latest updates. Okay, and thank you for supporting us till now, and I hope you will be supporting us in future. And if you have any requests of videos that you want us to bring, you can post them in your comment section. I'll be very happy to make videos on the suggestions given by you. Okay, so let's get started. As I said, today's topic is JavaScript Object Notation. Okay, so that's called JSON. So what is actually JSON? So JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. Okay, it is actually a text format for storing and transporting data. Okay, let me just write it down for you. Transporting data. Okay, and it actually works like text format. Okay, it is used for storing and transporting data. And JSON is also very self-describing, and it is also very easy to understand. So that can also be one feature that you can note down. Self-describing and easy to understand. Okay. So these are the features, and let me take a simple example so that I can show you what I mean by JSON. Okay. So JSON is actually represented in key value pairs. Okay. Remember that. So for a simple example, we can take like this. Say this is a string, and inside that I will take a Python dictionary and just let us take something like keys and values. So name is the key, and let me take the value as say John. Okay, and then let me take one more key called age, and let me take the value as say 25 years. And the final one that I want to take is say I can say height, and I can say 6 feet. Okay, so these are key and value pairs. You can see name John, age 25, and the height is 6 feet. Okay, so this is a simple example of JSON key and value pair. So name is the key, John is the value. Similarly, age and 25 and height and 6. This is a simple format of representing JSON. Okay, and whenever you are working with websites and any applications, you need to understand about JSON notation. Okay, JavaScript object notation, because it will be very handy. And here you can see it defines an object in this example with three properties: the name of the person, the age, and the height. And the values are inside this. You can see here, right? So this is a basic example. And now the first thing you need to understand that when you are trying to convert JSON to JavaScript object, you need to parse them. Okay, parse the JSON to JavaScript object. This is very important in order to read the data properly. So if we pass the object, the readability of the object increases. Okay. So what I mean by parse is when you pass the data, it becomes a JavaScript object. Okay. Then the readability increases and it's very easy to understand also. So life becomes very easy. Okay. So some other characters about JSON are something like this. Let me write it here only. So it is a text format for storing and transporting data, as I have already written. Okay, so you can also say that JSON is used to send data between computers. Fine. And also you can understand one more important feature, which is JSON is language independent. Okay, This is a very important feature of JSON. You can read the JSON data in any language. It is language independent. So you can convert that from any language to JSON object. Okay. So that helps us to actually pass the data into a JavaScript object so that it makes it more readable. Okay. So I have already created a folder. You can see Python JSON. Here I will show you how you can actually interact with JSON objects in Python. Okay. So for that, we have a built-in module in Python called Json. So normally what you do for third-party libraries, we use the pip, right? Pip install that particular module name. But in case of this, Json is a built-in library. So you just have to import it. That's all you have to do. Okay. So let us try to do something like that. I will just show you how you can store a normal Python data type or a dictionary into a JSON file. Okay. So for that, let me create a new Python file, say p1. Okay. So this will be the first part of the video, guys. Here I will be showing you how you can convert a dictionary of some data having keys and values into a JSON object. Okay. In the next part, I will show you how you can load that particular JSON data from a JSON file into a normal Python object so that you can read the data from a JSON file. Okay. Now currently I will be showing you how to convert a normal data into a JSON file. Then I will show you how to read data from a JSON file. Okay. So let's see. I will zoom it. And here, first thing first, let me create a dictionary. Say my dict is equal to. So as I showed you earlier, dictionary will be in the JSON format, right? So I have to write something like this. Say I'm writing people, and here the data that I have will be something like one more dictionary. Let me show you what I mean by this. So you can see here I'm writing a dictionary, and here I will give the data something like this. Try to understand what I'm doing. Okay. So this will be the properties. Name, let me say Ben. Okay. Then I'll give a comma for the second one. Say age colon say 23 comma, and then the say height, let it be say 5.6. Okay. So similarly, if you want multiple data, what we can do is, let me just copy the step and I will just paste it here. Okay. So you have to properly format that. For that, you just press the tab. Done. Let me just have one more and paste it here. Okay. Now let me change the names. Say Bob, and let me say Alice. Okay. And let me change the data here. Say it is 25. Let it be 29, and let it be 5.8. Let this be 5.9. Okay. So here you can see we have three dictionaries inside the people list, and that is actually a bigger dictionary. So people is the object here. Inside this list we have three individual dictionaries, you can see, right? And they are separated using this comma. So this is a simple format of JSON. Now for the time being, this is not represented in a JSON. Okay, this is just a simple dictionary in Python. Okay, but I will show you how you can convert this into a JSON string. So for that, first of all, we have to import the JSON module. So import JSON. Okay, you can see it is a built-in module. We don't have to do any third-party installations. Now this is done. Now there are two important methods inside the JSON module. They are, let me just write it down for you, loads and dumps. Okay, so as it says, loads is for loading the data, dumps is for dumping the data from our program into a JSON file. Okay. So currently I will be using the dumps method. So let me create a JSON string is equal to, I will simply say JSON dot dumps. You can see dumps is there and we have loads. So we will be using dumps right now. Here I will just pass my dictionary. Okay. And then if you are aware of the file handling concepts, then I will show you what I'm going to use. So I will just say with open and I will give a file name like my underscore data dot json, and I will give the mode to be write mode because I'm writing some data into it as f. Here I will simply say f dot write. What do I need to write here? I need to write this JSON string. Okay, so that's it, guys. Now if I run this program, you will see what happens. But before that, let me tell you what I've done actually. So right now we had this particular dictionary which had some data. These are the objects or the elements, first one, second one, and the third one, right? So let me indent this properly as well. Okay, that is done. Now after that, I am converting this JSON object, or I am actually converting this dictionary into a particular JSON object. By this JSON.dumps, I am dumping this dictionary into this string. That means this will be totally converted into a string. Now after that, I am writing that into a file that I created, mydata.json, in the write mode. And you know, right, when you use this with command, we don't have to close the file. Otherwise, we have to write f.close all the times. Guys, if you don't know all the basics of file handling, I will give you a link in my description and also in the I button about a complete tutorial on file handling in Python. You can go ahead and look at that, and then you can come back and watch this video. Okay. So now if I show you my project panel, you can see I have python.json, Python JSON directory and p1.py. I don't have any mydata.json. Okay. Let me run this and show you what I get. So you can see it finished with exit code 0. There are no errors. Now if I minimize this, you can see I have got a file called mydata.json. Okay, let me open this. You can see there is a catch here. The data is coming in a single line, right, guys? You can see here. Let me zoom it a little bit. Yes, this is coming in a single line. It's so awkward. Suppose if you have more data, then it will be very difficult for you to read the data. In that case, I will just show you one more important thing. Let me close this file. And here, this json.dumps function, it takes two arguments. The second one is actually indent. Okay. If you give an indent of 2, now let's see what happens. Let me run this. So this finished with exit code 0. Let me minimize this now. And let's go back here. And if you see here, if I open this, now see, it has beautifully indented by 2 steps. You can see 2 indents are there. Similarly, if you just say indent equal to 4, it will indent it by 4 tabs. It will look even more better. Let me run this here. And let me open the JSON file again so that you can see this. Yeah, here you can see this has proper 4-step indentation. Okay, so this is actually a multiple of 2 or 4 or whatever you want. By default it should be 2 or 4, which works perfectly fine, or else you can take any other data as well. If I say 3, let's see what happens. Okay, let me open this. See, this thing is a indent of 3 but doesn't look that good. So better we keep it to either 2 or 4 as we like it. Okay, so let's run this now and see what we get. Okay, you can see I have my data.json and it looks properly indented and readable. Okay, but understand this, if I don't write this indent equal to 4, then all the data will be converted into a single line as you see here. That is not a good practice. So we have to follow this rule and use the indent like this. Indent equal to, I will keep 4, and let me run this now. And then let me just open the JSON file. Here you can see you are good to go. And now you have converted a Python dictionary into a JSON file. Okay, so this is about the first part of the video, guys. In the next part of the video, I will show you how we can simply load this mydata.json and read the data from that file. Okay, thank you, and I hope you have understood this. If you have any doubts, you can post them in the comment section. And last but not the least, please don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel now, because that will motivate us to bring more and more videos to you. Okay, so this is Saurabh signing off. See you in the next tutorial. Okay, bye bye and happy learning. Hello everyone, welcome back again to our channel Coders Arcade. In the last tutorial, I told you that will be the part 1 of the JSON video, right? So in that, what we learned? We learned that we can convert a dictionary in Python which is having some key value pairs into a particular JSON string, okay? And then we stored this JSON string into a mydata.json file, as you can see here, right? So in this tutorial, I will show you how you can read the data from this mydata.json file, okay? So let me close this file here and let me close this p1.py. Now, we have already discussed all this, right? What is JSON, why it is required, and all this. So now in this tutorial, I will show you how you can read the data from this mydata.json file, okay? So before starting this video, I request you all to please again like and share our videos and subscribe to our channel, because that will motivate us even more to cater to your needs and demands, and all the videos that you request will be uploaded by us. Okay, and at the same time, thank you for supporting us till now. I hope you will be supporting us in future. So let's get started with today's video. Okay, so as I said, today I will be showing you how you can read data from a JSON file. Okay, so let's just see how to do it. So in this part, let me create a new Python file here in this particular directory. So let me write p2. Okay, so here I will show you how you can load data from the JSON file. So similarly, like earlier, we will import the JSON module. And as I said earlier, in this program, you can see here, I talked about two important methods, dumps. We had used the dumps method here, right? In this one, we will be using the loads method to load data from a JSON file. Okay. So let's go back to our program. And here, I will simply say with open, the name of the file is mydata.json. See, when I write M, the file is getting detected. And let me give the mode as read mode, because I want to read data from that. And as F, first, let us create a JSON object. Okay, so JSON object is equal to JSON dot loads, because we want to load the data. Here, what is the simple command to read data from a file? It is f dot read, right? So if you guys have problems in file handling concepts, I will share you a tutorial in our channel which will guide you with the basics of file handling in Python. Okay, you go through that video, then you can come back. It will be very easy to understand this video. Okay, so here what I do, I will create the JSON object by reading the data from this mydata.json file. Okay, and as I have opened this as f, so I will just say f dot read, because I want to read the data. That's all. Okay, so after that, I will just say f dot read. Fine. Now let us do one thing. Let me minimize this part and let us run this and see what we are getting. Yes, you can see here we are not getting anything, right? So let us do one thing. Let us try to print the JSON object that we created. Okay. Let me run this now and see what we get. Yes, you can see here we are getting the data from that JSON file, right? See here, this is the data that we wrote in the earlier file, right? Let me open that file here. You can see this is the data, right? People, name, Ben, Bob, and Alice. Let me go back to the program here. You can see if I use the console, see, name is Ben, height is this, and age is 23. We're getting all the data, right? So this is how you can read the data. Now, let me ask you one thing. Let me split this to the right and let me ask you something from here. So here you can see people is the name of the object, and there are three different elements of that, right? Ben, Bob, and Alice. Now, suppose if I'm printing this print JSON object, and I will give a square bracket, and then here I'm writing something like this. Let me split this a little bit more. Yes, because that is visible. Okay. Now I will simply say people, and then from people I want to print the zeroth element. Okay. Let's see what we get. Let me run this. See what we are getting. We are getting name, age, and height. Okay. Now suppose you want to access the name of that person. So simply what you can do, after the zeroth element, you can give the name of that particular key. So name. Now let's run this. We should be getting Ben here. Okay. So I'm running this. Yes, you can see we are getting Ben from that. Suppose if you want from the element 1, that is name, Bob, I want this data height. So here I can simply say height. Now let me run this and see if I get 5.9 or not. See here guys, this is how you can access data from that. Okay, so that is how it is done. Okay, so first thing first, we need to import the JSON module, then we have to open the file in the read mode, and then we have to load the data. So the simple thing, we read the data and use the loads function to load the data into a variable. Because it becomes a JSON object, therefore I have written the variable name likewise. Okay, then we are just reading the data like this. After that, if you print the JSON object, it will print the entire data in the JSON file, or else if you want any particular data, you can use the index number. So first thing first, you need the object name. Okay, you can see here this is people, then this is the zeroth index, this is the first index, this is the second index. Okay, so 1 will be for Bob, and if you want height, you can write height here, so you'll get 5.9. As you see here in the console, this is 5.9. Okay, so this is it guys, this is how you can load data from a JSON file and read the data from that. Okay, so I hope you've understood this. If you have any doubts regarding this video, you can comment them in the comment section. I will be very happy to clarify them. And also, if you like this video, please don't forget to like and share our videos with your friends and family. And also, please don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you receive notifications regarding our latest updates. Thank you. This is Saurabh signing off. I will be coming back with a very important third part of this tutorial, which will have object-oriented concept of writing and reading JSON files. Okay, I will show you how it is done, because if you can implement object-oriented programming with JSON, it will become better for you and you will be very easily upskilling your skills, and also it will be very good for your career. Okay, so stay tuned, and I'm signing off for now. See you in the third tutorial. Okay, bye bye and happy learning.
Hello everyone, welcome back again to our channel Coders Arcade. In this tutorial, this will be the third part of the Python JSON tutorial that we have been looking to. Okay, so in this tutorial, I will be talking about how you can implement JSON in Python using OOPS concepts. Okay, so the two methods that we had, loads and dumps, we'll be using those two methods here using OOPS paradigm. Okay, so before starting this video, I would like to request all of you to please like and share our videos with your friends and family, and also thank you for all your support, and I hope you will be supporting us in future. And also, please don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you can receive latest updates from our channel. Okay, thank you. So let's get started. So let me just go back to the project. Here you can see we have p1.py where we actually converted the normal dictionary into a JSON data, my data.json, and in the p2.py, in this one, we loaded the data from the JSON file mydata.json using the loads function. Okay, so dumps is for dumping the data into a JSON file, and loads is to load the data from another JSON file. Okay, so this one, the third one, will be how we can write the JSON commands, or how we can write a Python script using OOPS concepts. So I will rename it like this: JSON with OOPS. Okay, so let us take a simple example for that. First of all, what I will do is I will let me just minimize this screen. Okay, so I will import the JSON module. Fine. Then let us create a class called employee. Okay, and first of all, let us define the attributes. So I will create the constructor first of all, and I will take three parameters or attributes. Okay, name, the ID of the employee, and the salary. Okay, so as we earlier have done in all our programs, let us create the attributes. Name equal to name. Okay, self dot id is equal to id. Okay, So you're just assigning the parameters. If you guys are not aware of the oops concepts in Python, I will share a link in the description and also in the I button, so that you can go to that video and learn about Python oops concepts in a proper way. Then after that you can come back and learn from this video. Okay, you can continue with this video. So the next one is self dot salary is equal to salary. Okay, so we are done with setting the attributes. Now let us take a simple method to get the info of each employee. Say I can say print info. Okay, and here I will simply be printing the details, like say name, comma, self dot name, id, comma, self dot id. Okay, and last one is the salary, comma, self dot salary. Okay, so we are done with this. Now suppose there is a option of incrementing the salary of one employee. So for that, what we can do is we can create another method called def increment salary. We will be taking the employee as a self parameter, then we will taking the increment value. Okay, what we will do is simply self dot salary plus equal to the salary increment value given by the user. That's all. Okay, and now let's come back to the most important part here. The first part is saving the data. So what my target is, I will create the object. Okay, the object of this employee class will be an employee, right? It can be 182, whatever it is. Each object will have the name, the id, and the salary attribute. After that, we have a method which can print the info of each employee, and then we have a method called increment salary which can increment the salary by taking the increment value from the user. Okay, and now I want to save this data into a JSON file. Okay, so let me create a method which will actually save the data to a JSON file. Okay, so I will write the name like this, save to JSON, and here I will just require the file name from the user. This will be the file name in which it will be saved. Okay, so I will create a simple dictionary is equal to, I will use the key value pairs. So name is the first key, and for that the value will be obviously self dot name. Okay, then the second one will be the id, and for that the value will be self dot id, and the third one is the salary. So I will say salary and colon self dot salary. Okay, so I have this dictionary created now. Now let us open a file where we will store this data. So with open, I will use the file name only, comma, and you remember, right, for writing we need the w mode. Okay, this is the mode w, and as f, this can be anything. I will just say f dot write, we want to write the data. Okay, so for that we will use the JSON module and use the dumps function, JSON dot dumps. Okay, and here we'll use this employee dictionary, comma, and if you remember from the earlier versions or early programs, we use this indent, right? Otherwise the data comes in a single line. So for that I will also use the indent here. I will take indent equal to say 2. Okay, so this method will be saving the employee data, the name, id, and the salary of the employee into a JSON file. where the file name will be taken from the user. Okay. Now let us create one more, which will be loading the data from this saved file name into our program. Okay. So load from JSON. Here I will use the file name because I need that to load the data from that particular file name. Now here I will say with open that particular file name, comma, in the read mode. Okay. Else you can take it as F only, no problem. Here what I will do is I will take another variable called data is equal to. So again we have to use the JSON module. So JSON dot, obviously you remember right from the earlier tutorials, we have to use the loads function to load data from a JSON file. Okay. So loads, inside the parenthesis we will be reading the data. So f dot read. That's all. Okay. We are done with it. Now after that, let us do one more thing. Let us update the value of the name of the employee, the ID of the employee, and the salary. So for that, what we do, and guys, you remember one thing, right? When we store the data into this, it will become a JSON file, right? So now we can use it as key value pairs. So suppose I want to update the name. So self dot name is equal to, I can say data, my object, and I can give the key to be the name key. Okay. And similarly, I can say self dot, the second one was the ID. Okay. Is equal to data of ID. Okay. And the third one is self dot salary is equal to data of salary. Okay. So these are actually the keys which I will be searching in that particular file, this file name, because when we read the data, this will be a key value pair, right? Whatever we are doing from here. So those keys I am updating in my name, ID, and the salary attributes. So that's all. Now this is the entire template created. Okay. So first we create the constructor, name, ID, salary. Then we create a method for printing the info of the employee. Then we create a method for incrementing the salary. Okay. After that, we create a function or method to save the data of each employee into a JSON file. Okay. And then after that, we have created one more function or method where we can load the data from that particular file into our program and read the data. Okay. So because we already have one print info function here, if we load the data from this JSON file, we will be able to call that function and read the data. Okay. That is our target. Now let's do one thing. Let's try to create one first employee. Say E1 equal to employee class, and inside the parenthesis I will pass the name, the ID, and the salary. Say name, I am passing my name only. Okay. And let me say employee ID is 200. Okay. And the salary, let it be say 30K. Okay. And then now let us see E1 dot print info, what we get with that. Okay. Let me run this. Okay. You can see guys, I'm getting my name, my ID, and my salary. So it's working fine. Now let's do one thing. Let's try to call the save to JSON function so that we can see whether we are able to save the data into a JSON file or not. Okay. So I will say e1 dot save to JSON. Here it will be asking the file name. So here what I will say is I will say Saurabh.json. Okay, this is the file name that I'm giving. Now if you see in the project, I don't have any file with that name, right? If I run this now, just see what happens. Yes, there is no error. And if I minimize this output window, you can see I have one JSON file created called Saurabh.json. If I open this, yes, you can see guys, name, ID, and the salary has been dumped into a JSON file. That means we have created a JSON file with the particular data, the name of the employee, the ID, and the salary. So it's working fine, right? Now let's do one thing. Let's go back to our program and try to read the data from this JSON file, sort.json. Okay. So for that, let me just do one more thing. I will say e1 dot increment salary, and let me pass something like this. Say we are incrementing by say 10,000. Now, after incrementing the salary, let's try to print the details. Let's see what we get here now. Run this now. Okay, guys, you can see here the earlier salary was 30,000. After increasing the salary, we're getting 40,000. So it's working fine. Everything is working fine, right? So now this is done. Now what I will do, let me just comment this part because the object has been created. I don't want to load the file again and again. What I want to do is I want to create one new object, say e2 is equal to employee, and I will not pass any values here. Okay, what I will do is I will pass none, 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 and none. Okay, now let us try to load this particular file, saurabh.json. So e2 dot, I will say load from JSON, and here I will pass my file name. Okay, fine. After loading, let us try to print the data. So I will say e2 dot print info. Fine. So the data here was something like this. Here, name, ID, salary. Saurabh 230,000. Okay. So let's try to see if it's working fine or not. Run. Yes, guys, you can see here. This is the data here, and this is the output here. Saurabh, ID 200, and salary 30,000. So it is able to read the data. Okay. So it is working fine. So this is how, guys, you can use object-oriented programming concepts and dump data into a JSON file using the dumps function, as you can see here. But be careful about the indent. You have to pass it. And also you can load the data or read the data from a JSON file using the loads function. Okay, that's it. So if you have any doubts regarding this video, please comment your doubts in the comment section. I'll be very happy to clarify them. And also at the same time, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you really like this video. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you receive notifications regarding our latest updates. Okay, stay tuned and happy learning. I'm Saurabh signing off. Bye bye and see you in the next tutorial.